Hey, welcome to this short video. What we're going to cover is what is appointment setting, why is it super in demand and a lucrative skill, how I got my first clients and how you could do two ways, where can you find them, what to say, how to run them as a client, and number four, how you can start earning an extra 3 to 5K online with this, and of course, what is next. So if you don't know me, my name is Balaj. Maybe you've been sent here by one of our team members, or maybe we've been chatting online after seeing some of my videos and you would like to learn a little bit more about what is this and who I am. So I'm basically running my own agency, BG Studios, for the past 3.5 years. We are helping coaches mainly and course creators and consultants scale their businesses upwards of $100,000 a month and beyond. And I help a few people on the side how they could become full-time appointment setters. Just so that I'm not a full of shit, I've been doing this, as I said, for 3.5 years. I've been earning over 10K a month for over 3.5 years now. So let me show you that I'm not a full of shit, and then we can go from there. So here you go. This is my exact bank account. This actually moves. This is not a screen recording or this is a screen recording, but this is not a screenshot of some kind. So this is March. Today is March 25. So as you can see, some payments are smaller, some payments are bigger, just simply because the nature of appointment setting. So appointment setting is basically a commission-based position. It's step one into sales, if you will call it. So what we're doing is we work with coaches, consultants, mainly in the how to learn things in the e-learning space. That's the online education space technically. So if you Google that, just let's do it right now together. Online education space market size, so that you know what we're dealing with. The e-learning market size is right now a 30.6 billion. I mean, it was back in 2021 at market size. Right now, it's expected to be 198.9 billion. So it's a very fastly growing space. So what it is, basically, it's coaches, course creators, everything that teaches other people a skill or different things online, because more and more people started realizing that, hey, I'm good at this. I've been working 20, 30, 40 years at this job. I got pretty good at it, but why couldn't I start teaching people who are not so good at it, go online, work with a few people, and start making money that way? So they will need people who are appointment setters, because how does a simple online business work if you think about it? They will need, let me put this down, they will need people who are interested in the service that they provide or the coaching or the program. Then they would need to sell that. This is where we would come in. And then they would need to fulfill their orders, meaning teach the people who bought their programs. Pretty simple. Now, here's the good news. To get people through the doors, what they need to do is marketing, run ads, like content, create videos, show their faces, spend a bunch of money, create websites, email marketing campaigns, affiliates, all that juicy stuff. That's a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of skill, a lot of energy. Good thing is, you don't need to do all of that, any of that. All you need to do is the person that we work with, the coaches, they do the marketing for you, meaning they do all that stuff I just mentioned to get people through the doors. And then usually those people that are coming through the doors, like, what is the door? The door is what's called social media. It's usually Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and email, meaning all the people coming through all those advertising and marketing channels, they would reach out to the coach, consultant that you work with. This should be a slash. It's hard to type and talk at the same time, via a direct message. As I said, on IG, Facebook, LinkedIn, or email. But here's the problem. After a while, there's just going to be too many people. And the coach, the consultant, the influencer that we work with, they couldn't handle it themselves. Plus, this should be reach out. Plus, it's so their business, as I said, it's like three main parts. If this part getting too many people in, then the second part fails, then they would be failing at the fulfillment. So the whole business would fail. So they couldn't handle this usually themselves, or they don't want to, or they're not that good at it. So this is everybody who's coming into this online education space, starting to teaching people something, they need an appointment setter. As we said, this is projected to be a $198 billion industry, meaning if you just become average, like you're not suck at it, but you're just average, you could easily make 3 to 5K a month with working 1 to 3 clients a couple hours a day, typing simple messages. So what do you do as an appointment setter? So technically as an appointment setter, all you do is you basically log in to the Instagram and Facebook and or LinkedIn and email inboxes, coach, consultant, so that you could respond to these messages. Of course, there's a framework on how to get these responses and how to structure them, which we teach. But the main idea is you log in, you chat with all the people who is messaging them about, hey, can you teach me? How does your program like how does it work? How much does it cost? Would it even help me at all? They will have questions, they will have concerns. And all your job is to see if they qualify, they could be a good fit for the program, meaning the program that the coach consultant sells could actually help them. Because at the end of the day, this business would completely fail if the people who are getting sold not getting the result that we promised them in the beginning. Pretty straightforward. So all you do is you chat with them with the agenda of booking them in for a sales call with the business owner, which could be, or their team. Team cannot type. Or the team, okay. The business owner is the influencer, the coach, or the consultant that you work with, or their team if they have a sales team, if they're big enough. All they're doing is they jump on the phone and they sell the product. And every time they jump on the phone and they sell the person that you booked in for a call, you make percentage of the sale, usually anywhere from 5 to 10%. Put this into perspective. Like a coach selling a $5,000 coaching program, not uncommon at all. 5,000 coaching program. You book from their ads, they are having 50 to 100 conversations a day that you can handle. So basically, if you book them 3 to 5 calls a day, they are pretty much guaranteed to close at least one of them. And if they close one deal for $5,000, you make 5% of that, which is $250 every single day. Team $250. Okay. That's it. If you can negotiate a better deal for yourself, you can make 10%, which in that case would be $500 per sale. It's all up to you. The good news is you can also negotiate a monthly base fee, which usually happens if you can dedicate, you have a set schedule, depending on how flexible you want it to be. The more flexible you want to be, the more commission based it's going to be. But if you have a set schedule, let's say Monday through Friday, we're checking the messages X amount of hours a day, then you can, of course, negotiate yourself a base pay. So this is what appointment setting is and why it's a very lucrative skill. Now let's get into how I get my very first 2 clients and how you could do too. So here's the best ways that I've found. There's 2 ways to reach out to people. There's cold and there's warm. My friend, who's also a millionaire, he also shows and says, if there is a way to go warm, then never ever do cold. Simple reason is both work, but if the person or you getting introduced to the coach, your perceived value is much higher and the likelihood of you getting to work together is much higher too, because you're being introduced, you're being presented, you're being you're not going cold into an interaction. Let me see if I can explain this to you. There's this analogy called the in-group bias and the out-group bias, meaning there's a group of people here, you're trying to enter the group, they are the group, and you are in the in-group. meaning you're not inside the group. You're trying to get into the group, meaning you're trying to get something out of them. And the best way is if you can give something to the group, that's how you can get in. But if somebody introduces to you the group who is already part of the group, there's a much higher chance for you to be able to fit in. So that's the difference between cold and warm. So I'm going to give you one strategy for cold, and I'm going to go give you one strategy for warm. So let's start with warm. So what I started doing is there are other freelancers inside this space who are also working with e-learning companies, coaches, consultants, and experts, such as copywriters. That's my favorite. And funnel builders. And ad guys, like people who run advertisements for these companies, and a bunch of others like web designers, social media managers. The list goes on and on and on. Point is, what you can start doing, go on Facebook and go on Instagram and start researching. Just type in the word copywriter. I still can type. So this goes to show that I'm not an expert at writing. I'm more of an expert. I still can type, damn it, at appointment setting, okay? Because it doesn't matter. You can have typos in your messages, of course, not all day long, but you can still make good money with this, all right? So this is why I'm not a language teacher, but an appointment setter. So what you can do is go on Facebook. Like, let me see my Facebook. Let me see if we can get something for you. So you go on Facebook. There's tons of groups that we could go into. So this is my Facebook. You go into, just type in copywriter. Copywriter. And then you search for groups. This is a dude setting an appointment with me, just so that you know. And there's a bunch of like freelance copywriters and writers. You could join a bunch of these, hopefully for right now. It says visit. Okay, so I'm in the group. Awesome. So now all you do is you, of course, check the post, trying to see some more experienced people, because if you start talking to somebody who's brand new, they won't have a client. Because the big idea is you start connecting with them, you form a relationship with them, and you ask them, hey, dude, would you be open to refer me one of your clients who I could potentially help set appointments for, in return for me giving you a percentage of my first commission check? So technically, you are getting referred to the client without them even knowing you. Okay? Pretty cool strategy, I know. Thank me later. So all you need to do is just message them with a simple message like, hey, dude, so you're a copywriter. Congrats. I'm an appointment setter just starting out, or I'm an appointment setter started not too long ago. Like, don't lie. If you're just starting out, tell them you just started, and then ask a simple question like, hey, what made you start copywriting, by the way? Or like, how is it going for you? And then you propose them the idea like, hey, would you be open to introducing me to one of your clients? And if it works out well, and if we start working together, I'm more than happy to give you a percentage of my first commission check. Or you could tell them the exact figure, you could give them a bottle of wine, you could invite them for pizza, whatever you want. Like, it's a shameless bribe because you're giving them something. You're not going empty-handed trying to take something, you're giving, okay? So that's what we're doing here. Now, the cold strategy, it's harder. It's much harder. You could do the same thing, by the way, on Instagram. You go on Instagram. If you don't know me, follow my agency page, Balazs_Karolfi. This is where we have all the client results, testimonials, and success stories. So go ahead, check that out. But what you can do in here is just type in coach, online coach. Tons of them. Ideally, like, niche it a little bit down. You could go with fitness coach, for example. It's a pretty good pool of people. We have tons of fitness coaches in here. And basically all you do is you check out their thing. Like, as you see, they have 20,000+ followers. They have a link. They pretty much likely to promote something. They get lean, fit, energized in 90 days using my program. Meaning they sell a program. Guess what? They're in the e-learning space. They teach fitness to other people. They have a one-on-one fitness mindset coaching program. They have the weekly mind, body, spirit secret. So it's awesome. So what you could say is like, hey, find out their name first. So this is John. So, hey, John, I know you don't know me. I am Balazs, and I saw that you're promoting your let's say, weekly mind and body spirit secrets program. And I was wondering if you were looking for an appointment setters or an appointment setter who could help you book more calls for you or your team so that you could sell more of that. Thank you for reading this. I know you're very busy. Like praying emoji. You send 30 of these a day out to 30 different fitness coaches or online coaches. You do that for 2 weeks, guaranteed you will have responses coming back. So then what do you do next? So of course, you need to tell them, like, if you're a beginner, like tell them like, hey, John, thank you so much for getting back. I'm right now getting trained. If you're doing training by XYZ or where you get the training from, you could say, if you work with me, you could work with Balazs, you could use our credibility because we have a lot of clients that we could use as testimonials and results for yourself, which is definitely a plus. But if you don't, that's totally fine. You could say, hey, I'm training right now to become a professional appointment set. I've been doing training for 4 months or 3 months. Send them a voice note if you can. It's more personal. And I tell them, but I'm super dedicated. I think I could help you book more calls. Like, would you be open to jump on a quick call so we could discuss how we could possibly do that? No strings attached. Thank you so much for getting back to me. Easy, okay? And they will much likely to respond if you're open and honest about it. A lot of people mess this up because they just try to sell the guy. They don't really care if they can actually help them or not. They just try to sell something. And the point is not to sell. The point is to build a relationship, because once you build a relationship, even if you guys can't work together, that contact could be somebody who could refer you somebody else. Okay. So with that being said, this is how I landed my very first few clients, and I highly recommend you jump on a call, because then this is how you build a real relationship. You jump on a call, you ask a couple questions, you see where their business is at, what they do have in mind, and then you can go from there. And just so that I could show you this, I didn't start this way. So let me see if I could do this. So, oosh. And the best thing about appointment setting, I don't know if this works or this black thing is covering half of the screen. So finally, I own my dream car. This is our team right now. This is a little bit of travel. This is one of our clients. This is another millionaire client sitting in Miami. Unfortunately, it doesn't make it show. Yeah, maybe it shows better. But then our dog, yeah, it just didn't work out the way that I wanted to. Point is that I didn't start this way. Back in 2018, I had my old job. Like, I went to the office, 20-minute that or 40-minute that way, metro replacement bus because they were renovating, and then the same like route like the way back. I enjoyed the job, so it's not like the story where like, hey, I hated my boss, I wanted to like fire him and all that stuff. I enjoyed it, so I stayed there for about 2 years. But I needed to understand, if I want all these things that I wanted in my life, I could not do that with the current job that I had. I was making about $1,000, which was a good salary in Hungary, but it just was not enough. I couldn't afford my dream car, I couldn't afford the trips, I didn't have that much free time. Right now, if you see me in this kitchen, right now I'm back in my hometown because my mom and my dad went on a vacation for 2.5 weeks, and I myself take care of my brother because nobody else, unfortunately, in the family has the freedom that they could just come in here and take care of him for 2 weeks, because they have jobs, they have duties, they have all these responsibilities that they have to be there. I don't, because I have a job, I have a business that I can operate from my phone. So I'm here for 2 weeks. They come back. If they would come back 2 months after, I could still make it work, because I have the opportunity to do this. This is what appointment setting can actually provide you with. So if this sounds a little bit interesting, I hope this training was helpful. Let me know. And if you would like to learn a little bit more about like appointment setting, and if this is the right vehicle for you to get your first $3,000 to $5,000 a month online, then click the button below, book a call with either myself or one of our expert team members. We could have a quick chat with you and see if this might be the right fit. All right, so just click the button below, fill out the application, book a call, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.